On May 5th, in 1868, General Logan proclaimed that May 30th of that same year should be observed as Decoration Day, where flowers should decorate the graves of all those who had fallen in the war. And he picked that day, May 30th, because on that day, in every place in this country, flowers were blooming. And I don't remember the poet, but I remember reading that the beauty of nature is truly of God. And so it is. We now have wonderful special music from Lori and Julie and Sylvan.
Yeah, I think I bought this little flower from a veteran out in front of a market in Sebastopol yesterday. And I didn't realize the significance of flowers blooming everywhere by May 30th. That is obvious here, isn't it? Lori and Sylvan and I are all people who love nature and spend time together backpacking and hiking in nature. And I don't know about you, but during the pandemic, nature was a solace for many. Whether it was looking at things in your yards to being able to have a freedom to go out into nature and walk and see people walking at a distance, there was something that didn't feel so confining when we got out into the natural world. And I know from talking with Patrick that you have started using, or maybe many of you have been using the language of spiritual practices for a long time. But sometimes all it is that makes something go from being a mundane, normal part of our daily living into a spiritual practice is the way we turn our intentions and our attentions towards it differently. So that washing dishes can become a spiritual practice. Yay. Doing laundry,
Yes.
sweeping the floor,
Ironing.
hanging a photograph, and taking a walk. They can all become spiritual practices when we put our mind to it in a slightly different way and with a different focus. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the spiritual practice of walking. And so this morning, we're going to do a song that has sort of a cadence of walking. You might hear in it this feeling of almost a natural cadence of walking. So the next time you find yourself out taking a walk, maybe the melody of this song will come back to you. And we're going to introduce this little vignette of music and some reading and singing with a Taizé song. And Lori is been to Taizé, and she is going to give a little introduction to Taizé and then teach us the melody. And we'd love for you to sing it with us. It's meant to be shared in community. It's meant to be come at not just from a melody, but maybe you can find a harmony. And if you don't want to participate in the words, you can always just hum. You can hum just one single note like a drone, or you can follow it in any way you'd like. So please join us.
So Taizé is a kind of prayer that takes a very short little sentence and puts it to music, and it is repeated until the words get into us and begin to change us. And Taizé, the music of Taizé started in Taizé, France, which is a tiny little village in the Burgundia region. And Brother Roger went there to start a community of people that would serve the least of those around them. And I may have told this here before, but during the Second World War, he reached out and hid Jewish people. And then after the war, he invited the people from Germany to come and build these structures that now house thousands and thousands of pilgrims who go to Taizé every year. And they especially seek out, minister to young people. So thousands of young people come and learn these songs.
This is the perfect crowd.
So the words to the song is, God bless every step that I am taking. God bless every step that I am taking. And bless the earth beneath my feet.
And bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet.
Goes. God bless every step
That I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet.
So we will come in and Lori will play a little, come in singing together until we kind of sense it slowing down and fading. Lori will play a little bit. I'm going to read a piece by, think of his name, Gerald May, a psychiatrist, psychologist, theologian from the Shalem Institute out on the East Coast, and it's about walking. Then we'll let that sit for a minute with some more music after I read, and then I'm going to read it a second time, and I'm just going to, the first time is just listen to it, just see what that does. But the second time, listen for a word or a phrase that might catch your attention. Just, it sparkles for you a little bit, and just kind of hold that. Sylvan's going to play with us during that musical interlude, and we'll end by singing the same song again as we kind of walk on out of this little vignette. So. Just play a little and then we'll all sing.
God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking,
earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. Not everyone is able to walk, but most people can, which makes walking one of the most easily available spiritual practices. All it takes is the decision to walk with some awareness, both of who you are and what you are doing. Where you are going is not so important, however counterintuitive that may seem. To detach the walking from the destination is in fact one of the best ways to recognize the altars you are walking past all the time. Not everyone is able to walk, but most people can, which makes walking one of the most easily available spiritual practices. All it takes is the decision to walk with some awareness, both of who we are and what we are doing. Where you are going is not so important, as counterintuitive as that may seem. To detach the walking from the destination is in fact one of the best ways to recognize the altars you are passing by all the time.
I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. Cause every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. Cause every step that I am taking, every step, and bless the earth beneath my feet. Cause every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. Bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet. God bless every step that I am taking, and bless the earth beneath my feet.
Julie and Lori and Sylvan, thank you very, very much. And is it not true? We walk everywhere, always. Good morning. What a lovely day. I ordered it special just because I knew we'd all be here. So, welcome to all of you. And thanks again to Lori and Julie and Sylvan for being here at Special Music. And thank you, Debbie. Got some announcements. To the best of my knowledge, Vivian is still in the hospital. She is looking to be placed in a rehab place, home, institution, whatever that is. Donna is staying until that happens, I think, but nobody knows for sure. We're just day by day. Thank you, David and Mike, and what? Gabrielle and Gloria, everybody, it was just beautiful flowers this morning that decorate this fine, fine old building. Wednesday evening discussion group met and we'll meet again this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the hall. Does anybody have anything to say about that? Okay. Thursday morning ladies group met on Thursday.
Yes, we had a lovely time, full attendance,
Good.
and we meet again June 10th.
June 5th, 2 weeks, like every other week.
10th.
June 10th, okay. We have a sign-up list for flowers in the back. Is that not true and correct?
It is true.
And there's not many names on it. Is that true and correct?
Right, we have some July, we only have one for June.
Okay,
So there's 3 more people signing up for June.
okay, all right. And June is a great month. I mean, it's a whole month, 30 some days in June, almost every year. So thank you, John. Any other announcements? I know, yes, Kelly.
Donna texted me this morning, and it looks like someone in Oakmont will be able not only foster Vivian's dog, but possibly adopt if necessary. So that is a big, and yeah, some good news in that.
Thank you very much. Any other announcements? Okay, if not, then let's I haven't messed up too much at all so far this week. Last week I got everything on. Let's stand up and sing This Is My Song, verses 1 and 2, number 206 in the Wing of Song. All right. Traditionally, we greet each other with a hug, but that's different now, and perhaps namaste is more comfortable, so it's up to each of you. But this is our time when we greet each other.
I'll show you.
Does he go into accidents a lot? I'm wondering on parts.
I would like to make a request. Let's read our abundance, or our affirmation of abundance together first. May we? When we transform abundance and prosperity from a perception to a consciousness, our lives will be enriched beyond any definition of tangible value. We will be that abundance and prosperity. May we ponder that a moment, please. Thank you, Debbie. I have a request. Every Sunday, we have a basket that sits in the back for people to offer their gift or donation. We don't pass it. We don't ask. And I would like, we had a person do it for a number of years, but I would like to ask if someone, in addition to our treasurer, at the close of the service, before that money is gathered up and put their hands on that basket and have the awareness and the blessing that people choose to share their abundance. And in so doing, money is something we don't have to think about or worry about. We can stay focused on elevating consciousness, on our awareness, and why we are here, and give thanks that people choose to make that a perpetual existence. Would someone volunteer to do that type of blessing at the close of service? Ananda? Thank you very much, Ananda. That energy, that awareness, that blessing, I feel is so important that we acknowledge the beautiful gifts that are shared in this building, our gifts of our time, our talent, and our thought, and our treasure. Thank you. As we prepare ourselves for our time of practice, let's sing together Only Believe, number 152 in the wings.
Good morning, everyone. It's so fun how the practices that I feel guided to share keep aligning with things that other people share and with themes that are arising spontaneously. I love that kind of synchronicity. I wasn't even really thinking about the fact that it was Memorial Day this weekend when I decided to share a practice around peace, which I actually use for kind of self-soothing and calming the nervous system. It's another energy practice. And there's just, I see a lot of intersections with our themes for today, which is really lovely, and with the music too. So as with a lot of the energy practices that I share, this one will start with imagining the energy of peace as a color, which I see it as like a beautiful kind of like deep sky blue color. And if you just imagine yourself, close your eyes for a moment, and just imagine yourself being kind of washed through with that color. See if you can really tap into what it feels like. It feels very calming. You can kind of feel your nervous system start to let go of some of tension carried there. And you can do this, anytime, even in a crowded place. No one will have any idea. But if you have the freedom, you can also add this piece to it, which is to bring that energy into each part of you, kind of each level of your being, you could say, specifically. So what that looks like is something like peace to my heart, and just feeling that energy flow, especially to your heart. Peace to my mind, peace to my body, peace to my emotions, and just moving around, peace to my body, peace to my mind, peace to my heart, peace to my lower back. Say if you're having pain in a particular area, you can bring it there. It is a healing frequency. Peace to my emotions. Just calling that in, peace to my heart, peace to my mind, peace to my body. And then just sitting for another few moments in that flow of blue, peaceful light, knowing this is always available to you. Just by, as Julie was sharing earlier, just by turning your intention and your attention to that frequency, which is always there for you. Let it soak as deep as it can go. Invite it into places it hasn't found yet. Peace to my body, peace to my mind, peace to my emotions, peace to my heart, peace to the world. Thank you. Namaste.
I'm not singing or playing, but I think I'll lead you in tapping your feet. Because you'll want to. I'm giving you permission. Not yet.
Playing this. Thank you very much. That was,
You almost got up and did a jig, didn't you?
I did. That hit home somewhere deep in the roots there, I think.
You need to do a hornpipe.
Yes, yes.
Whatever that is.
You know, it is Memorial Day weekend. And for 103 years, it was called Decoration Day. That's what it was when I was a kid. They changed it in 1971. They made it Memorial Day instead of Decoration Day and moved it to always the last Monday in May. And on Veterans Day, I brought this flag. This flag was given to me by the Veterans Administration when my father passed away. And when I was offering the message on Veterans Day, I got upset in the middle of it. And I think I said something like, I don't think I'll be bringing this flag back. But I've worked through that. And I think that's what I'd like to talk about today, because I think all of us have this catch 'em up in our get along about Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And honoring our soldiers and our troops and our military. And at the same time, our peace, having peace on this earth, and honoring soldiers that fight. It's a dichotomy I've wrestled with for years, ever since I got out of the Air Force and beyond. But I'm going to give it a little different look-see today, maybe. We cannot change the past. And I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about the evolution of mankind. In some areas, we're not very far out of the cave. And as we continue to fight in war and use violence to get our way, that's just the indication that we're truly not very far out of the cave. We can walk on the moon and go to planets and talk to anybody on the face of the earth in real time, visually, with our technology. But we still have some pretty, what would you call it? Antiquated facets of consciousness. But I thought, where do we take it from here? I think we must, when anyone serves their fellow human beings, that must be honored and respected and acknowledged, and we need to be aware of that. We serve in the armed forces, we serve at the Goodwill Mission, we serve at the soup kitchen, we serve with COTS, we serve at fundraisers, we serve in our community, all different ways. That's part of being in touch with our humanity. But this thing about violence and war, as we think, and we've been encouraged to not think for generations now, but as we think, the people in this room, as we think, we understand that to transcend this consciousness of violence and fear and hatred and war, we must think peace. And I'm thinking, we probably, none of us are going to change this consciousness of humanity next week. Probably not. I don't know Ananda though. He's pretty good at stuff. He may get her done. I don't know. But what I've decided is that I'm going to try to maintain a consciousness of kindness. And maybe that little bit of kindness that I try to be aware of all of the time will transcend this consciousness of violence that I have within me. We all do. When that dude pulls out in front of us going in the freeway or takes that parking place we've been waiting on, we'd really like to, no, let it go. That negative energy that we conjure up, that perpetuates the energy of violence, frustration, anger, hatred, fear, all those negative things. And I'm going to tell you again, and I've told you several times, keep telling you, till we can all kind of wrap our heads around it. The simplest definition for consciousness that I've ever been able to come up with is that consciousness simply is the force or energy that controls your thought, your words, or your actions at any given moment in time. And that can change in a heartbeat. But as we walk along and become aware of the beauty that's all around us, how can you be angry when you're experiencing that beauty? How can you be upset or disappointed with humanity in all of its violent interactions when you're aware of that beauty right there? How can you be short-tempered when you've decided you're just going to be kind today? Not changing the whole world, but maybe changing a little attitude. Maybe putting a little energy into how the rest of your day is going to go, and how the rest of Ward's day is going to go, or Kelly's day is going to go. Just a little kindness. I have a Eleanor Roosevelt quote on our order of service, and it's kind of about taking responsibility. But I think she shared with humanity the most important piece of advice that any of us might be aware of. And it has to do with how we interact. She said, people may not remember what we say or do, but they will never forget how we made them feel. And if we think about that, when we put on our little consciousness cap of kindness every day, ask ourselves, how are we going to make the people in our community, in our life, how are we going to make them feel today? And if we can maintain that little consciousness of kindness and keep in mind that question, how are we going to make people feel? then along with Ananda, we can change this world. And so it truly is. Let's stand and sing our peace song. Let there be peace in our hearts, in our minds, in our actions. Amen. Shall we?
So look in your phone.
Yeah.